Hey guys, welcome back to another Neobrand video. Today we're trying the Glittering Wish package in Modern. So there's a few different versions of Fair Neobrand going around, and this is one of them. This version uses Glittering Wish to get your combo pieces out of your sideboard, like Allosaurus Call or Neoform. So what's cool about Glittering Wish is it's kind of like your combo piece 9 through 12. If we have Allosaurus Rider, we can go get Neoform. If we're missing Allosaurus Rider, we can go get Allosaurus Call, which can go get Allosaurus Rider. It's a little slower, but it's much more consistent. Glittering Wish can also get silver bullets out of your sideboard, so that's why we're running Nature's Chant. It can only get multicolored cards, which is why Nature's Chant is a good option to destroy any problematic artifacts or enchantments. So in addition to the Glittering Wish package, we're also running the Xenagos Ghalta one-shot package. So this package consists of Xenagos, Ghalta, and Summoner's Pact. So to quickly go over how the entire combo works, we're trying to get out Allosaurus Rider, so we're going to cheat that in pitching 2 green spells. Once we do that, we're going to cast either Neoform or Eldritch Evolution. One of our evolution effects is sacrifice Allosaurus Rider, get one of our huge creatures, and win the game. So if you're trying to one-shot your opponent, you can evolution into Ghalta if you have Summoner's Pact in hand, with the Ghalta trigger on the stack to put any creature into play. Use Summoner's Pact, get Xenagos, put Xenagos into play. Xenagos will trigger, making Ghalta a 24/24 and just one-shot your opponent. If you're trying to do something else, maybe you want to get your Rennie. Your Rennie has protection from white and black, which makes it pretty much impossible to kill against black-white sewers or Boros energy. So if you get your Rennie on turn 2 against either of those decks, it's usually lights out. This deck is also running Griselbrand, so you might want to get that if you want to refill your hand, if you're not afraid of it dying. You also really want to get this if you used one of the Summoner's Pact in order to cast it. The reason for this is, if you don't have a Consign to Memory in hand, you definitely have to dig for it, which is why we're running the set. Consign to Memory is an amazing card in the meta right now. Up to about 50% of decks are running Consign to Memory in the sideboard, so there's a lot of really good triggered abilities, and Summoner's Pact and Pact of Negation are no different. So how a turn might look, and you guys will see all of this in the video. We'll cast Summoner's Pact, get Griselbrand, it comes back to our turn, Summoner's Pact triggers, and we just cast Consign to Memory to counter the trigger. So that's basically how this deck functions. Again, you'll see all this throughout the video. Let's move on to the sideboard, which unfortunately I accidentally registered 4 Orm's Chants. You want maybe 0 to 2 of these, and we accidentally have 4. If I had to replace 2 of them, I'd probably put Veil of Summer in there. It's definitely not the worst card to have, but you definitely don't need 4 in the meta right now. You will bring this in against Storm, against the Mirror, against some heavy control decks. We have 2 disputes for control decks, Into the Flood Maw for creature decks. It bounces any problematic artifacts like Vexing Bauble. Same for Force of Vigor, Natural State, and Nature's Chant. We're trying to kill Vexing Bauble, Grafdigger's Cage, sometimes Torpor Orb. We have our Allosaurus Call and Neoform for our Glittering Wish package. We have an Island for Blood Moon effects, and then we have Boseiju for more artifact and enchantment hate. So that is Neoform playing the Glittering Wish package in Modern. Before we get into the video, I want to talk to you guys about becoming a YouTube channel member. You'll get access to a lot of cool perks like loyalty badges, cool emotes, and early access to videos like this one. Lastly, we are a Mana Traders content creator, so if you want to save up to 25% on your first subscription, all that information is in the description below. So if you want to see more Neobrand content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and let's get in the gameplay. Alright, match 1 on the draw, and we're going to keep this hand. It's a 1-lander, but we are on the draw. We have a Surveil land, we have our Allosaurus Rider, and we can Glittering Wish for an evolution effect. I don't think it's the craziest keep. That's not a good draw. So let's Hedge Maze, land, we'll keep on top, and we'll pass. And Ghalta Triome, so this is going to be Domain. Just gotta dodge Stubborn Denial. We'll see if they play Scion here. Unfortunately, we can't counter it with Consign. Kavu. Play Gemstone. We'll cast Glittering Wish. And then hopefully we can win next turn. Get Neoform. Pass the turn. We have Pact of Negation if they have a stub. If they have 2, then they get him for Kavu. Most likely gonna loot. They discard a Mountain. We'd love for them to tap out just to feel even more safe. They play Ragavan. So they're not completely tapped out. Draw Boseiju. Alright, so let's just go for the win here. We're going to Allosaurus Rider, pitching here and here. And play out Boseiju, no reason not to. Go green, blue, cast Neoform. See if they have the stub. They do not. So there's 2 plays we can make. We can get your Rennie, which has protection from Leyline Binding. Or we can Ghalta and just win here, and then, assuming that they don't have 2 Leyline Bindings, I think we're going to go for the high upside here. So we'll get Ghalta, cast Summoner's Pact. We can also Consign to Memory the Leyline Binding trigger, which is why you wanted to play out Boseiju also. Get Xenagos. I guess the only way we could lose is if they Consign Replicate, but then we could Consign and Pact, put in Xenagos, move to combat. There's Leyline Binding. So with that triggered ability, we will Consign it. They fetch. Tell me they had 2 Leyline Bindings, and we played around it perfectly. Pact of Negation. That was like perfect. That's about as perfect as it gets, I'd say. Alright, that lands. Move to combat. Attack for lethal. They block with Ragavan. Very cool. I just realized our sideboard has 4 Orim's Chants in it. Oh no. When I was building the deck, I was wondering why our sideboard looked so filled, but we couldn't see it. These were all the way to the side. So I guess we're running with 4 Orim's Chant on the side. Alright, so against Domain Zoo, we want Force of Vigor, into the Floodmaw, Beseiju, take out the Mandrills. Definitely want these. Take out 1 fetch. I'll try this. Alright, this hand has nothing, so let's mulligan. This hand also has nothing, but we have a Surveil land. We can kind of stall the game out with Floodmaw. So I think we tried going to 5 with this deck. We do have lands, we just have nothing part of the combo, other than Eladamri's Call, I guess. Consign could be good. I'm going to treat Beseiju as a spell, so I'm going to maybe pitch Floodmaw. The tempo is so good. Yeah, we'll just pitch Consign. We're not going to have it on turn 2 for Scion anyway. And I want to get this down and just start bouncing their creatures. Xenagos. Alright, so that sets up for a one-shot. Summoner's Pact. We already have Eladamri's Call for Allosaurus. I'm going to graveyard that. They get in Ghalta. They're just going to get Domain. I'll see if they play Scion or Kavu. If they tap out, we're probably just going to main phase Eladamri's Call. Alright, they do play Kavu. It is tempting to just Floodmaw that. We draw another Disciple. Alright, let's just main phase this. Not get got by Stub. Get an Allosaurus. Now they're just going to be on the ready. So we kind of have to wait for them to tap out, or we draw something. We also didn't bring in Disputes. I think we should have brought in some Disputes too. There's kind of a lot to bring in this matchup. Maybe we don't need the Floodmaws as much, but they do slow the game down. They're just only good against counters, not against the rest of their deck. We go to 12. Yeah, they don't even play anything. Pact Negation. So I kind of want to keep this for a green pitch. I think we're going to try that. We're missing the evolution effect, so we just need to kind of pace ourselves here. Alright, they get Thundering Falls. They put Torpor Orb in the graveyard. Interesting. We're just going to bounce this at the beginning of combat. See if it eats like a stub or something. They let that go. See if they want to recast it and hold up blue probably. Or just hold up Thundering Falls. This would be the best time to draw it. They don't even play it out. So they must have like a lot of interaction here. We're drawing not the greatest. A lot of packs are good once we actually get the combo. But we're just going to pass back again. Again, these are my 3 green pitch cards right now. So the more that they don't do anything... Oh, they have Doorkeeper Thrall. Alright, well that's potentially annoying. And they don't even play anything else. They get him for 1 first. They have to play Kavu out, right? We're just going to Floodmaw it again. Just for the tempo. Windswept Heath. That's not it. Alright, we're just going to pass back. They get a Temple Garden tapped. So we're assuming they have at least 1 Leyline Binding, 1 Stubborn Denial, and or 1 Consign. They play the Kavu out. So we're assuming they have 1 of each here. If we don't draw it, then, like, it is what it is. I think we're doing a fine job of just stalling. So we're going to Surveil. Get a Hedge Maze. Force of Vigor to the graveyard. Gemstone Mine. Play that out. We have 1 turn. They're going to attack for 6. We're going to go down to 3. They discard Joshua. Their hand must be really good if they don't want to cast this. Again, we're assuming they have at least 3 spells of interaction, and they're not even tapping out. Man, we don't draw it. I mean, there's going to be a fail rate, so... What do we want? We had 4 wishes, 3 neoforms, and 3 evolution effects. Let's bring in a Mystical Dispute. We'll just try that. On the play for game 3. This is a 1-lander. We do have Summoner's Pact, Glittering Wish neoform, but we have Griselbrand and Atraxa in hand, which makes it not very good. No counterspells. We'd have the Summoner's Pact for Allosaurus, pitching here and here. I think on the play with 1 land, I think we'd mulligan, especially with this right here. Alright, this is 4 lands and nothing else. We don't have any other half of the combo, so we got a mulligan. This is also not the greatest, but we'll keep it. We have Summoner's Pact for Allosaurus, but no green cards. So we gotta put back Gemstone Mine, probably Beseiju. Start with a Hedge Maze. Pretty bad 7s and 6s. Summoner's Pact, I'm gonna say no. That is a green card, but I'd rather have like access to better green cards. Thundering Falls, Land to the Yard. Disciple's a green card, we'll keep that. Archive, Graveyard Beseiju. Plains, Torp Orb, that's fine. Misty, play that and pass. We have no more Surveil lands, but we can make our land drops at least. Wooded Foothills. See if they have a Flage here. They do. Alright, we'll fetch. Again, just looking for anything. Get Breeding Pool tapped. I don't think we want to Floodmaw this, right? Ghalta. Yeah, I think now we will. Then we'll just pass. We're doing this because if we try to do it on their turn and they have the counter, they just hit us for 9. We do have a couple turns, but this will again slow them down. While we're trying to find a evolution effect. And they cast Flage again. Consign. Alright, we just have to pass. We have 2 turns to draw something. They get Ndatha Triumph. Arid Mesa. Dash Ragavan. So we're going to hit for 11. We'll see if Ragavan hits something good from our deck. I'm going to be sad. It connects. Hallowed Fountain. Okay. Down to 8. So we have 1 turn. Can we draw anything? Draw the evolution. They do have 5 cards in hand with 3-4 mana up too. Kind of sucks. Alright, let's just go for it. Get Allosaurus, exile here. Unfortunately, we have to tap out in order to evolution this, so we can't hold up and consign for a leyline binding. So more than likely, we're gonna pact one thing and they're just gonna get us with something else. Evolution. Alright, so that lands. I mean, all we can get is Urani here. Anything else just gets leyline bound or something. The only downside is, again, they didn't counter anything, which was kind of weird. Maybe they only have leyline binding, but if they counter the consign on the pact, then we lose. They get a tap Temple Garden. Can't really do anything either. They could just attack. They could dash Ragavan, we block Flage, take 5, go down to 3, and then they just recast Flage and we lose. I won't trigger it on Torpor, but they'll just attack again. We just took way too long to do anything. Dash Ragavan. Yeah, they can just fetch, recast Flage. Block here. Ragavan connects, and it hits an Allosaurus Rider. Don't want that anyway. So they should do that now. Oh, that's funny. They cast the Allosaurus for free. They had 2 ley lines in hand. If they cast Flage, I'll just scoop. I don't think we're not beating this anyway because we have to block here, take 2. We're just never able to attack again. All right, there's the Flage. All right, match 2 on the draw. And we're going to try this hand. We have at least 2 lands. We have Eladamri's Call for Allosaurus. We have turn 1 Preordain. And we have some green pitch spells, so we're going to keep. Definitely a slower hand. Sliver Hive. All right, hopefully we can be fast enough on the draw against Slivers. First strike. Back the negation. So we're going to have to fetch Shock here. And we have to get a Hallowed Fountain because we have the green source already. Preordain. Oh, we find the Allosaurus. That's really good. So we actually need both of these. Go top and pass. Hopefully turn 3 isn't too slow. Cavern of Souls. Hasty Sliver? Yeah. All right, only getting hit for 2 at least. Down to 15. Next turn is where they play the Lord, and then they just start murking us. Play the Hedge Maze. Land. I'm actually going to keep this on top because it's going to be just 1 damage instead of 3, and I think that could be really important. Urza Saga. Ooh, interesting. All right, so this is the Lord. First strike, Flying Haste. Down to 9. So I'll play Misty. Going to go to 8. Go to Forest. Allosaurus, pitching here and here. I'm going to just plan to get Ghalta here and put these in. Evolution, Allosaurus. I can't imagine we lose putting these 3 into play. These 2 have flying. Urani could kill one of these, and it is a flyer, but it has no lifelink. So let's just get Ghalta. Put those 2 into play. We'll let Atraxa trigger first. We'll see if we actually want to gain 12. Oh wow, we hit awfully. Pretty bad. Let's see. 3 Summoners packs, 2 Consign to Memories. Consign might be good for the search here. Take Consign, Boseiju, Allosaurus. Wow, we only had 3 spells. That's pretty bad. Done. Do we want to gain 12 here? This is 6. We block 1. Can they bounce something? I'm going to say no. We have Pact and we have Consign. So if they have anything crazy, we can just counter it. There's a Saga triggers. They can't attack. And we are going to attack with everything. If they triple block this and they have like a trick, we can still like Pact it and then Consign it. And they just pass. Oh, Leeching Sliver. It also can't be countered because of Cavern. That's kind of funny. So if they play that pre-combat main... Oh, and they have Shadow Spear? Yeah, they meant to play this before combat. Alright, so against Slivers, definitely want the Flood Mauls. Packs are definitely going to come out. Not sure like what we actually want to bring in. I don't know what they're going to bring in as a Slivers deck. We'll just try the 2 for 2 split here, and then if we need to bring anything else, we'll try. Alright, game 2, and this is a perfect hand. The only thing that would make it more perfect would be untapped mana to hold up like Flood Maul, but this is a turn 2. There's a Saga. Aetherval? Double Summoner's Pact. We'll play Hedge Maze. Xenagos. Yeah, we'll keep it on top. We'll just go for the win. Chapter 2. Cavern of Souls. Alright, they play Sliverlord. Can't imagine that they have anything for this, so we'll see if they have the something. Play Gemstone Mine. Alright, so we're just going to go for the 1-shot here. Allosaurus. Pitching here and cast Neoform. Get Ghalta. Trigger. Put Xenagos in. Trigger. Nice. Alright, match 3 on the play. This is very close. We were missing the Allosaurus, but we have Surveil Lands. We have Glittering Wish to find Eladamri's Call to get that. I think we'll try it, especially because we're playing Glittering Wish. So start with a Surveil Land. Ghalta to the graveyard. We'll see if this is too slow. It's going to be like a turn 3 or 4. Arid Mesa pass. Assuming this is energy. Draw Forest. Cast Glittering Wish. It's kind of weird getting Eladamri's Call, but that's what Wish is for. Oh my gosh. Domain again? Man, yeah, this matchup isn't the greatest just because they have such cheap interaction and like cheap aggression too. We have Consign for their leyline bindings, but yeah, this matchup is not fun. They keep a card on top. Are we playing against Domain twice? Play Gemstone Mine, cast Eladamri's Call, go get Allosaurus Rider. So we're just hoping that they either tap out or they're heavily relying on leyline binding, which we're assuming they are. All right, Flooded Strand, Shock in Temple Garden, Scion of Draco. We're going to counter that. And then we're just going to stifle this trigger. Draw the Ghalta. Not very good. So let's Allosaurus, pitching, Ghalta, and Disciple. We will cast Neoform. We also don't even need to stifle this if we get Urani. I'm just going to get Urani. We'll just hold this up just for whatever reason. Oh no, they cast Leyline Binding. That resolves. They didn't read the card. You got to read the card. We were like all set for it with Consign anyway. All right, we'll just pass back. If they have another Scion, we'll just counter it. Okay, and they just concede anyway. Yeah, this happens more than you'd think just because Urani is such a random card. So we won the first game last time, but then we were unable to pull it through. So let's see what we want to do. Like, you want the Flood Mauls for the tempo. You want Disputes for their stubs. I'm kind of mad about these Forearms chant. So, like, unnecessary. So last time we got rid of a Ghalta, we got rid of Hooting Mandrills, got rid of a Fetch Land, brought in Boseiju, Force of Vigor. Force of Vigor is for their ley lines, for their leyline of the guild packs and leyline bindings. I don't even know if that's like necessary. Like if we want these, what don't we want? Like maybe we're not trying to one-shot here. Is Glittering Wish too slow? Let's just try like this. We'll fix it next time. All right, game 2, and this is a one-land hand with Wish for something, Call for something. It's pretty slow. I think we can mulligan. All right, this has everything we need. So we're gonna put back Ghalta. They start with double leyline. Just land go. Archives. We'll start with that. Surreal. Another Neoform. So if we bin that, then they know we have it, but we really don't need another one. We'll bin it. That's fine. It's usually a telltale sign that we have an evolution effect by doing that. Of course, we'd love for them to just tap out. Okay, well, they're essentially tapped out. We have the Pact, but we don't have Consign to Memory. So if we Pact their stub, then we have to get Griselbrand, and we'll find something in the next X looks. I think it's fine to go for it here. Get a forest to save life. Allosaurus, pitch here and here. Oh no. They cast Leyline Binding in response to this. Alright, so I guess we're just gonna... Yeah, I think they misclicked. So now we can get Urani, which has protection from everything that they do. Or Griselbrand, draw some cards, and just get Urani. What's funny about Urani is because they have the ley lines out, this has protection from everything. Alright, they're just passing. Draw the Neoform. Attack for 11. And I guess we just pass. This was their hand. Stubborn Denial, Leyline Binding. So they must have just drawn the stub, but they're stuck on lands and all that stuff too, so. Match 4 on the draw, and this is another Glittering Wish hand. So we're gonna keep. So far, I think we've only had one perfect hand. Verdant Catacombs. We'll see if it's a Thoughtseize. Just a Forest. Delighted Halfling. So this is maybe Yawg? Disciple. Start with a Hedge Maze. Allosaurus, we will keep that on top. So that eliminates the Pact, so we can still Glittering Wish for the Neoform. So this will still be a turn 3. I definitely want to keep that just in case they take something. All right, Grist. So this is, I guess, Yawgmoth. We're looking to dodge Thoughtseize or any hand disruption. Misty, we are going to go get a Neoform. Hallowed Fountain. The only sad part will be if we Glittering Wish for this and they take it away. Get Neoform. So we have the win next turn through no disruption. Verdant Catacombs. They plus on Grist. They have 3 mana, 4 mana. Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Alright, we don't care about that. I think we just get Urani. Or no. I'm just concerned like what this could be. I don't know if they run like Assassin's Trophy main, because then we'd be screwed. We can get Ghalta. We can do the combo, but it loses to just removal. Ghalta can put Atraxa. I think we do it like this. Let's shock that in. So we're going to Allosaurus, pitch here and here. Pitch like that. They're not F6. I don't know if it's because of... Then we will Neoform, blue, green. Because we could get Urani. Urani has protection from everything. Oh, I guess Chris can downtick unless we get Urani. If we get Ghalta... Yeah, let's just go for the win. With Ghalta on the stack, we'll cast Pact. Get Xenagos. Let's see if they have a kill spell for this. Okay, they don't. Alright, so now this gets a lot harder. We're not running any Veil of Summers, so we can't bring those in. I think all we have is like Flood Maul. Take out Pact of Negation. Bring in Floodmaw. Chance. Oh, man, I'm so mad about these chants. I'm just going to say that every sideboard. Take out Hooting. Like, they might have some artifact. Yeah, let's assume that they have, like, Vexing Bauble and stuff like that. So bring in Natural State. Let's bring in a Boseiju, too. These can always tag Cauldrons as well. Consign also stops Vexing Bauble if we can get it before they turn 1 it. Yeah, let's just try that. Alright, game 2, and wow, this hand. You could argue surveilling a bunch, holding up Boseiju for Vexing Bauble or any of that stuff, and all we need is the Allosaurus Rider, but on 7, even though we're up against a Thoughtseize deck, I think we still got them all, unfortunately. Into a no-lander. Kinda stinks. We're gonna have to throw this back even though we have everything. Okay, we will keep this. Put back Ghalta, and I guess Disciple? We're gonna treat this like a spell. Hopefully we draw more lands. We have the Eladamri's Call for Rider, we have Pact for Rider, we have Wish for Neoform. It sucks having to mulligan against a Thoughtseize deck, and then also just in general because we have less green sources. Noble Hierarch. Love a fetch land. Another Summoner's Pact. Play this tapped. Glittering Wish can also get Nature's Chant if we need. 3 mana. Don't destroy my land. No. Fulminator Mage. So gross. Alright, so we are going to have to play out the Boseiju, unfortunately. Unless we draw a fetch? Nope. Well, if we draw a land, we can get there. Damn, we had the win, too. Pretty funny. We just gotta hope they don't have a Cauldron to Fulminator us out of the game. Rumble. Hits Yawg and Torp Orb. They take Torp Orb. Flighted Halfling. And they're just gonna play Torp Orb. Land, please. So unfortunately, we can't one-shot them. But we can get Griselbrand, which we're gonna need to because we're gonna Summoner's Pact here. And they destroyed our untapped white source, which is also annoying. So let's get Breeding Pool. We'll cast Pact. Go get Allosaurus Rider. Allosaurus pitching here and I guess here. Cast Neoform. Get Griselbrand. We'll pass. So if they have a kill spell for this, hopefully they don't have a Grist. Is this Yawg? Or is this that like weird kill spell? Let's draw in response. Oh, they're gonna draw for Grist. Okay. Or Green Sun for Grist. That's fine. So we drew the Consign, so we're good about that. Unfortunately, we can't do anything else. So they're gonna kill Grist. We can't consign that, which would be amazing. Grist dies. Here we're going to consign the trigger. And because we don't have any blue spells to cast or blue mana, we're just going to play this tapped to save life. It also sucks that we don't have white mana. They make an insect token. Damn, dude. Yeah, we just have to dodge these, and they've had 2 already. Kind of unfortunate. So now we need fetch lands for blue sources. Boseiju. Pretty sure we lose this, but we'll draw like 1 or 2 more times. It's crazy how like mana hungry this deck is. Alright, they get in. I don't think there's any point in blowing this up. They plus, at least not this turn anyway. Soul Cauldron. I guess when they go to eat, what's it called, we'll just blow that up. Kind of a losing battle, but we're missing our 3rd or 2nd color. They have 1 card in hand. Draw Consign. They attack for 4, we go down to 3. We don't have the right mana. Yeah, who would have thought the Fulminators is what did us in? Alright, let's run it back. On the play this time. We also mulliganed to 5 that game, which was still relatively close. Glittering Wish. We have the Evolution, Eladamri's Call. We'll try it. It is a 1-lander, but we have Preordain. We kind of have everything. Just need to kind of get there. It's also tempting to not Preordain. I think I'm actually not going to Preordain. We're going to Surveil and or hold up Consign to Memory for Vexing Bauble. I think this is totally fine. Tap land. Okay. So let's go get Hedge Maze. Disciple. We'll keep on top. It's a mana source. So now the question is, do we Preordain now? Or do we hold up Consign? I think because we have Floodmaw, we can Preordain now. Evolution to the bottom. Breeding Pool. It's not a white source, so let's bottom. Eladamri's Call. Play this tapped. Yeah, I think maybe the white source is going to bite us. We should have gotten that because we have way fewer white sources. See if this is like Soul Cauldron. Rumble. They hit Fulminator and white. See what they take. Probably Fulminator. Alright, Gemstone Mine is pretty good. So now we can Glittering Wish. Actually, let's just Eladamri's Call for a Rider. Because we have Evolution. Get Allosaurus. And then we can consign. They're going to spend their entire turn fulminating us, and then we can consign that trigger, and then just get a Urani. There's Fulminator. They should eat this. Oh, you know what? It's an activated ability, not a triggered ability. Alright, we'll float the mana. I was thinking I was going to be all big brain here. Let's get the Hallowed Fountain. Allosaurus, pitching here and here. Evolution. It just gotta be Urani, right? Like, they just don't have an answer for this. They can't Grist it. They can't, I don't know what else they could have. Yeah, they just scoop it up. Alright, final match on the play. And I thought this hand was a keep for a second, but we have no land, so we're gonna mull. Alright, we are gonna keep this. It is a 1-lander, but we will Surveil. Gotta figure out to put back either Atraxa or Griselbrand. Put back Griselbrand. We can always ETB this with, what's it called? We have Summoners Pact, so we can one-shot them as well. So Windswept Heath, pass. Just need to make our land drops. That's the important thing here. Marsh Flats. So this is either energy or sewers. Looks like energy. And it's Ragavan, yuck. I was hoping it would just be like guide or something. Get a Meticulous Archive. Allosaurus Rider to the bottom. Maybe we get a Hedge Maze there because we need double green. Consign. I mean, if we just lose because we're missing on land drops, that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. You're never going to go to 5 with this hand. And this is such a good matchup for us. So if we just hit our land drops, we win. All right, they get in with Ragavan. They hit the third Allosaurus Rider. Wow. All right, so at least that makes it so that we can draw land. We could Summoner's Pact for the land and then consign that trigger. That's also a play that I really don't want to have to make, but maybe we should be doing that. You also don't want to run this out because I can Static Prison it or just Galv it. Oh, it's not energy, it's Domain number 3. We've played against Domain Zoo 3 times this league. That is insane. All right, we draw the land, that's good. See if this eats a stub. I'm going to Eladamri's Call for the third land. Get Disciple. This is crazy though that we played against this deck 3 times this league. So now we just have to dodge stub. This is going to get an Ghalta Triumph. Or Spar's Headquarters, sure. Maybe they'll use the blue, maybe they'll use the token, the treasure. They play Wooded Foothills. Get him for 6. We just gotta hope to not get burned out as well. Alright, they discard a land. I'm surprised they don't want to make this a 5/5. Oh, never mind. They shock in Blood Crypt. Get hit for 7, down to 7. I mean, we could just be dead to Bolt Tribal Flames. See if we get turn 3. If they Tribal Flames us, then we're just dead because we have to bolt this in. Okay, we draw the Forest. I mean, we have to go for it. So we'll cast this, pitching here and here. And see if they have the stub. They did not. They're gonna have the Leyline Binding. We're just so far behind. We'll get Ghalta. Put in Atraxa. We lose to like any interaction. We're just kind of going through the motions here. Oh, we draw a Pact. That's actually really good. Beseju, Glittering Wish, Disciple. So now if they try to Leyline Binding, we just Pact it. But again, if they have Tribal Flames, they have Lightning Bolt, they could just have lands. That'd be cool. They're just passing. That's great for us. So that means they don't have Leyline Binding or... So if they attack, we're going to block like this, and then hopefully just pact a Tribal Flames or Bolt or something that they try to do. You can always loot into something also. All right, they do cast Leyline Binding now. I wonder if they just top deck that. We're going to counter this one. We'll see if they have another one. Tribal Flames? Oh, Fable. Okay. Best case scenario. Can't imagine they attack. They don't attack. We get to consign this trigger. Eladamri's Call. So now we have a couple plays. We can Beseju this for 1. I think we just attack with all and then see if they want to block all here. They can only block here like this. This has Vigilance, so... And they're only at 13, so we're going to attack with all. What's funny is that these have First Strike right now, so they're going to think they can maybe get one over here. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So they're going to put everything here, thinking it has First Strike, and then we're just going to kill it. Actually, should we have just killed this and not been so cheeky? Alright, maybe that was not good then. We're thinking we're being all smart and stuff, and then... Okay. They go to 1 because we thought we were being clever. We're at 14. They still can't attack in. We're going to Beseju this, so that way they don't get the discard, so they can't draw out of it. But yeah, if we just kill Scion there and swing out, we win. I don't know what I was thinking, anything fun. Just trying to have fun here, right? Play this tapped. So now we gave them the out of potentially drawing Leyline Binding. That's what we get for trying to have a good time. Inti. Alright, so they're just going to go for it. Play into their outs. They do get 2 looks. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they would need like Leyline Binding and Lightning Bolt. Put a Flage in the yard. They do find the Lightning Bolt. Alright, they're pumping Kavu. So we know they have Lightning Bolt. If we block here, we're just going to block here because if we block here, they could bolt it afterward, but we still gain a life and we still win. If we block here, they could potentially bolt the Ragavan so we don't gain life. Then we take 8, and then we just win on the crackback, so I think it's a win-win for us. But obviously, we didn't have to put ourselves in that position if we just killed the Scion. Alright, so against Domain Zoo for the 3rd time, let's bring in everything we've been bringing in. All of this. Some Summoners Pacts out. 1 Ghalta. I'm going to take out the Xenagos package. They do have consigns themselves, which stops all this. Kind of playing the control game. Do we want the Force? I'm not sure. Force is good against the Leyline Bindings, but we're hoping to just consign those, and it's good against the guild packs if they heavily rely on that. Let's try that. Alright, game 2, and we're going to try this hand. We have Summoner's Pact for Allosaurus. We have Glittering Wish for Allosaurus. So we can try to turn 2 if they give us the opportunity. This list is running Thoughtseize, so it looks like that's what they have. Oh, Ragavan, okay. I mean, still really annoying. Let's see, we draw the Beseju. So we'll go Misty, pass. We can actually win next turn if they tap out. because we have Summoner's Pact for... Oh, never mind. We took out the one-shot package. I don't know if that's right. We take it out just because it's so kind of convoluted against their leyline bindings. We kind of need a little bit of everything if we're trying to one-shot them. Against this deck, I feel like I want the more value approach with Ureni. They hit Force of Vigor. Okay, we don't care about that. I wonder if they're stuck on one land. All right, they do Thoughtseize us. So we're kind of Thoughtseize proof because whatever they take, we kind of have duplicates of with Glittering Wish. Probably going to take the Neoform. Unless they have like counters and all that stuff, they might just take the Wish and hope for us to Summoner's Pact for it. Yeah, it sucks that they have Ragavan into Thoughtseize. That's like their probably best opener against us. They're down 5 minutes. They're really thinking hard about all their plays. I feel like they have to take Neoform. They're taking like 5 minutes on this. I feel like they're consulting with someone. They take the Summoner's Pact. All right, we'll get a Edge Maze. Evolution. I'll graveyard that. We draw another one. I mean, we're going to shock this in and I guess Glittering Wish and see if it gets countered. Oh, just kidding. They're F6'd. Get the Eladamri's Call. They just F6 through that entire play. But now we have to Eladamri's Call for Allosaurus. Then next turn we have to Neoform and hopefully that resolves. It's very convoluted, especially against a counter control deck. They hit a Forest. Okay. Fable. So if we draw Allosaurus, we should win. Consign. It's really tempting to blow that up, actually. All right, let's, I guess, Eladamri's Call here. Get Allosaurus. They are like F6'd. See if they want to crack this. All right, they do. It's also tempting to consign this trigger so that way they can't dig. But I think we have to save the consign for a leyline binding. I mean, we can always just get Ureni. Do we want to consign this? I think we do, actually. Let's consign that. They've been doing nothing all game, and I think this will let them discard a bunch. They do have all 5 colors of mana, plus these 2 token makers, but I think preventing them from doing that, it's like all we have left, right? Like, we're gonna have to go for it next turn anyway. They've been F6ing a lot. They're down to almost 10 minutes on clock. All right, they get in with both. Down to 7. They had an Allosaurus Rider. We're just really hoping this resolves. Oh, they hit a High Noon. We draw the Ghalta. If we drew a land for turn, we win. So now we have to end step. But they can just kill us next turn, actually. Yeah, if we drew a land, we just win here. Damn, they top decked the High Noon. All right, I guess we'll just blow this up at their draw step, because we don't want them to untap and be able to shoot us for 5. This is like a 1 or a 2 of in their deck, too. It's a good sideboard card against us. Throughout their draw step, we'll Boseiju this. Can't imagine we're winning, because they're going to put us down to 3 life. Then they can just bolt us, or we're probably just going to get Ureni and wipe the board. We'll see, we're trying. The turn 1 Ragavans have been really a pain for this deck. They've had it both times too, which sucks. But we will be on the play if we don't get through this one turn. They hit Pact and Negation. We would have liked that. Maybe? They have 5 mana. There's no way they don't have like some interaction here. They bolt us. Damn, just 5 turns of doing absolutely nothing. All right, so we definitely want Natural State. Views haven't been doing too much. We haven't seen any like stubs, but we know they have them. Just go for one like that, and we'll try that. On the play for the final game. All right, it's a 1-lander, but we have everything, so we're going to keep. We have Ghalta, Force of Vigor, Pitch. We're going to just surveil for stuff. We're going to Summoner's Pact for Rider. Hopefully get a land and just kind of go for it. I don't think you can mull this hand. Against a Thoughtseize deck, do they have Ragavan or Thoughts? Oh my god, dude, every time. Crazy. All right, let's surveil. That's a land. Play this. Cast Summoner's Pact for Rider. Get a Rider. Exile here and here. Cast Neoform. We'll just get Ureni. Kill Ragavan. So as long as they don't... I mean, they can't have stub up and play a creature and counter this because we have 2 mana. So we did the thing for the 2nd time this league, I think. You'd hope that you would do it more than twice. Just, we've only had 2 turn 2s. I'm pretty sure. All right, they play white mana. Inti. Pack trigger. We'll consign it. Maybe they're just waiting to see if we had the consign. Yeah, they were. Alright, so that was some more fair Neobrand featuring the Glittering Wish package. So even though we only got to do the thing like twice, I thought the deck felt really good. Having Glittering Wish in your deck makes the whole combo more consistent. It does slow it down by a turn or 2, which is the drawback, but you're more likely to find one or the other combo pieces. I do like everything that we're doing here with all the packs and the consigned memories. This synergy is really good, and then this is also just incidental hate against a lot of decks, especially since we played against Domain Zoo 3 times that league. Like we talked about in the intro and throughout the league, we accidentally registered for Ormschant. There's lists running 0, there's lists running 2, maybe 3. You definitely don't need a set. The other sideboard cards felt pretty good. We were kind of missing Veil of Summers. I feel like having 1 to 2 for that hand disruption is pretty helpful in addition to against all the counter matchups. But overall, I really did like this list. But that'll do it for me. Thank you so much for watching another Neobrand video. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Peace.